Crafty Babes, welcome back to a look inside my family 6x8 album. The last time we were together for one of these albums, we ended with my first album, which was January, February, and March. I was doing basically seasonal, so I was going to be able to fit 3 months at a time inside of one of these 6x8 Studio Calico albums, and I was pretty successful with that one. So we're starting here at week 14, the first week of April, and I started off with this planner page. You may remember seeing these in my first album look inside, and I really love the option of adding smaller photos. If I have an exceptionally busy month that just has a lot of photos, I can print them real small and add them to this. For those projects or for those photos that just don't have huge stories attached to them, I can just make quick little notes and jot little things about the photo and move on. Here we saw a movie, so I printed out the poster image from Google and then just used some blue around here to, I just used one color because there was no other color in that photo. So it was kind of a challenge to find the different shades of blue that really felt like they went together. So that was super fun. This is a photo of Matt and Marshall looking at some stuff in Marshall's class. We had open house. This is a project I did for Ellie's studio, and it's a really nice picture of Gibson. This was the day that he got his braces off, and of course he didn't smile and show me his teeth, but this is just the way that he smiles, so I was happy to have it. Here we made popcorn for a movie, and this is really kind of my go-to, is just doing like these grid styles. If I'm not putting things in pockets, I'm doing a 6x8 page and really having fun with like a grid. Just things are kind of not touching but overlapping a little bit, and having some fun with that style. We had to get the tires fixed on a couple of our vehicles, so we drove to Les Schwab and hung out for a little while, and Marshall and I love the smell of tires, and so of course I had to get a picture of the tires, and there he is back there playing. This pocket here is just kind of a welcome to the week. It has a little summary of just kind of the things that happened each day. A little picture of me and the Charlie waiting for Marshall to get out of school, and then a little bit of something I could fill in, but I didn't really fill it in, I just kind of embellished it. We went to Target and had Mexican food, and that makes for a great day. And let's see. This is going to be week 15 or week 16. Yeah, I kind of don't keep track of the weeks, so I'm going to try to not keep track of the weeks, but I kind of have to have a gauge, so I will do my best. Here I did a washi on each of the days and then wrote with a Sharpie so that because the washi's kind of slick, and as you can see, it's a little smudgy. So again, smaller photos, smaller little blurbs of what happened with that photo, and I really love I really love doing this style too. Big photos still make an appearance in these albums, which is just kind of sometimes my favorites. And if I prep ahead of time enough, I can do some journaling on them before I print them. Here is a pocket page about just some stuff that happened. Used a little card that I designed for the spring issue, the very first issue of Retro Hit magazine, and then just tried to find some kind of pinks and purples because Gibson's wearing this color shirt, and then yellows to match like my eggs and the flowers. And this picture was really busy because, as you can tell, he's laying on toilet paper in Sam's Club, so I turned it black and white so that it didn't compete with all the other photos. Went to the car wash on this day, and our car wash has this little gun where you can shoot water at the cars that pass by as they're getting washed. So I took some fun pictures using portrait mode, and that was really cool. And then I used the colors of the little soap that they throw on there. And this paper from Fancy Little Pants was just so perfect. It had the yellow and the blue and the pink tiles, and it just went so wonderfully with the colors of this page. And it's so funny, I noticed that when we were sitting there waiting for the car, we were both sitting the same. So of course I had to capture that. And Gibson, this is his junior prom. And he, I made a lot of these black and white, but then the ones that are in color, you can see because his date wore pink, that he wore a bright pink. He wore bright pink too, so that's why I just used black and bright pink to document junior prom. I did a big picture of he and his date, and then a couple of the really funny pictures I just made into a collage. This was really fun. Another cute one of the two of them together, well, more of them together. I really like being able to just do quick stamping sentiments, and then I like the layering here. And then they're off, getting into the car. I love this big picture of Charlie. We went for a little walk. This was just one of those days I was not feeling it, but I went anyway, and I'm really glad that I did. So I took some pictures, and I like being able to, sometimes with these photos that they kind of all look the same. I didn't use any green in the supplies. I just used neutrals, I guess. So sometimes that's just an easy way to go, and it helps if I like exactly what the sentiments say. That helps so that I don't have to always have the photos matching the supplies, but you know, that's kind of where I live. Here are a couple of pictures of the boys in their room. Gibson was just laying on his bed with Charlie with a toy, and Marshall's playing some games. Here, Marshall won a victory royale, so he got first place out of 50, and I just used a grid page from Felicity Jane and a little journaling bubble from Illustrated Faith. Did a little messiness around to kind of match this, and then used my Make a Date stamp. Super simple. I have this picture of the flowers I brought home from Trader Joe's, and Matt was messing around with the camera, so he took this picture and then sent it to me, and I had it sitting around, and then I was actually cleaning my printer, and it printed out, you know, the test page, and just so happened that they ended up sitting next to each other on my desk, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to use this in my album, just because why not? It's super cute. So hey, next time you print a test page, you don't have to throw it away. You can use it. I love doing these very simple doily photo layer kind of styles. It adds some flair, it adds a nice classy touch, and some color. So I just used a paper clip here with, you know, one of the little tags, the metal tags, and put a C for Charlie, and then just use one word strip here. That was a super simple page, and I like to repeat this kind of page every now and then. You've probably seen one before, and you'll probably see another. Here we played Scrabble, so I just made like kind of a little collage on this pattern paper. I liked the colors. I felt like they went really well with the colors of the Scrabble board, and kind of like had the kind of squarish, you know, pattern that the board does. And I kind of liked that it had little hashes, that it reminded me of the hashes that you use when you keep score. So anyway, these are the things that go into my thought process when I'm choosing paper, is just things that feel like they belong. Very simple page that says simple days. If I had a page that didn't have something to go on the other side, sometimes to just not have it be blank, I'll just throw something very simple on it. Here, Marshall and I wore our Harry Potter shirts, and we didn't plan it. We just were like, okay, we're going to go to lunch now, go get dressed. And I put on mine and he put on his, and it was really cute. So In a Creative Bubble has these really fun, lots of different sets of Harry Potter cards. So if you like Harry Potter and you need some 3x4 cards to document your love for Harry Potter, you gotta go hang out at in a Creative Bubble. She has lots of different ones. They're really fun. This is one of my very favorite pages. I had this one picture of me taking a walk and this little meme right here. I just loved using the rainbow and the colors, and just this whole collage style just makes me really super happy. And then a little bit of journaling. Here I used some big letters to say what the day was, and then used 3 different photos and then talked about what the story was for each. So I documented one day, 3 different photos, 3 different stories. I love using texture in these albums, and so I used a glassine bag and then used some alphas and little tags just to document this one picture. And then the same on this side. This is one of my very favorite. I just kind of layered in the middle and then just made myself a little cluster around the photo. And then here is a pocket page about Marshall playing Dragon Quest Builders. And it's kind of like a Minecraft, but it's more role-playing, and it's got dragons in it and like little, I don't know if they're even elves or if it's just people, but he was just really into that game for a while. So I just grabbed some fun color. Like I started with this one, and so then I pulled in the red and I pulled in the orange and pulled in the pink and just made that work. Marshall and I took a cute Snapchat filter picture of us with cactuses. So then I used some green and yellow stuff from Felicity Jane. And this is actually, these are from Illustrated Faith, and Kelly Bangs designed these. And I just was needing a reason to use them because they're so cute. Here I used a 3x8 card and used one small picture and then just made a little story about what it was. Nice little date. And on the other side, I made a little journaling about this picture over here. So these two go together. And this is just a quick little 6x6 layout with some small little vintage ephemera pieces and a picture of my rearview mirror with Gibson behind me in the drive-thru at Starbucks, because we used to go to Starbucks on Friday mornings, and he would get in line behind me and I would order for myself, and then I would pay for him and he would order, and then he would go to school and I would go to work. And it was just a fun little thing that we did for a while on Fridays. So here's a little bit more about Marshall being obsessed with Dragon Quest Builders. And we watched Popcorn and watched Civil War so that we could watch Infinity War the following week or maybe a couple of days later. And then here I use this little bingo card and another glassine bag here where I took a picture of Marshall playing on the set of the play set in one of the little areas of our apartment. We were just taking a walk and he's like, I want to go down the slide. So it was really fun to use just the bright colors from this photo. I used some crepe paper and, you know, texture. A lot of these texture pieces are actually from Make a Pretty Life kit. They do like embellishment kits, and I was subscribing for a while, and it was really fun to get these really interesting different pieces. Okay guys, that is about where we're gonna stop for now. I've got so much more to share with you, so stay tuned for the next edition, and we'll go through probably the rest of this album, I would hope. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you've gained a little bit of inspiration from seeing some of these pages. And as always, let me know if you have any questions, and if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of my videos. Talk to you guys real soon. Bye.